Hey guys, hey, we want to get on tonight and share a little bit more about the details of Holly's Alzheimer's diagnosis. We had a follower ask if we could share more about what we went through in getting the diagnosis and kind of what Holly was experiencing that caused us to even pursue a diagnosis. So we thought we'd share a little bit more in detail about that. This is your favorite subject, right?
Sure.
No, good news is Holly doesn't remember a lot of this.
It's true. Crazy. It's got to be some kind of phenomenon, but I wouldn't know how to characterize it.
So she still has a good sense of humor, and I'm thankful for that. Just real quickly, again, probably even 5 years ago, we're noticing a lot of the kinds of things that you hear. I think what the struggle for us was Holly's age and trying to understand what's normal. A lot of short-term memory issues, and I would say I'm careful with the word memory, by the way. We'll talk more about that in upcoming videos, but I would say recall. It was almost like, in retrospect, it was almost like she just no longer had the capacity to absorb new information, new instructions. It's just like the brain was full and it just couldn't take in anything else. And so she would be having a phone call and she just couldn't recall details of the phone conversation. She would be working on her computer, which she worked on every day for 15 years. And all of a sudden she can't remember how to save a file, or she couldn't remember where she had saved a file. And let's not talk about passwords. Okay. It became a real struggle for me because I was her personal IT assistant and I did not want that job. And so I wasn't very good at it. And, but it got to like a tipping point for me, if I'm being really honest. I regret how frustrated I was getting. But when you don't know, you just are frustrated because you're answering the same question every day and you don't understand why somebody who's been able to do something so fluidly all of a sudden acts like they've never seen it before. And when you don't have a diagnosis, you're just frustrated. And so I remember sitting down asking Holly, or telling Holly, I think we need to go pursue this. I was very concerned. Do you remember how you responded to that?
Tears?
No, she
No.
responded in defiance. She's making up an answer, and that's fine. No, she did not think she needed to she didn't think anything was wrong.
Yeah.
And and so ultimately we came to an agreement, and we pursued a diagnosis. We pursued a lot of different things. Actually, some God things in there. We actually went to a gynecologist because of menopause. We weren't totally sure if that might have something to do with it. And praise the Lord, in doing that, we discovered other issues that we had to deal with through that process. So that was, it distracted us from the cognitive issues, but it helped us resolve other issues. And so we're thankful. Ultimately, we made a friend there, Miss Lisa Spear. She might listen to this. We're so thankful for Lisa. She actually recommended a longevity center as a follow-up, and we got a referral. We got in at a longevity center and met with a geriatric MD that specializes in cognitive issues. And it was there that Holly went through kind of the cognitive assessment process. There are a couple of versions.
The torture.
Holly can go through any type of painful procedure, but please never make her take another cognitive test. That's what she's told me 100 times. But there, we weren't familiar with it, but there's a couple of different versions of these little in-office. They take about 20 minutes. They're kind of quick cognitive evaluations, recalling information and that kind of stuff. Yeah, and so one's called a MOCA, and the other one's called the SLUMS test. They're more or less the same. You think of things like drawing the clock face. That would be part of what this is. And that's just a very quick assessment to kind of identify, might there be an issue? And the tests, either one, MOCA or SLUMS, Holly took them both ultimately. They're scored on a 30-point scale, and Holly scored a 17. And so we had no idea what that meant. We knew it didn't go well. And so from there, the longevity doctor referred her to a neuropsychologist. And it was the neuropsychologist who did more of a very detailed and formal, in-depth cognitive assessment, to which I could not be a part of. And
didn't like it.
I remember sitting out in the waiting room for about 3.5 hours. He finally came and and got me. And when I went in there, I knew, and she just was shaking her head. She said, "John, it didn't go well," and she was just crying. And I already kind of knew it hadn't been going well because I was in there the first 10 minutes and it didn't go well.
Good
yeah.
times.
Not being able to recall birthdays or things like that. It was just really, really frustrating. And so I distinctly remember that neuropsychologist, and he was going to just give all the information back to the longevity center, but he said, "Listen, guys, I just really think it's important that you hear me say this." And it was then that he told us. He said, "Listen, at your age," he said, "you need to hear this. Your wife has Alzheimer's, and there is absolutely no question about it." He said, "This is an easy diagnosis." And he just felt it was imperative that we hear it, and just so we can just start the process of just trying to, I guess, process through that. And so ultimately all that information did go back. We met with your longevity doctor specialist. Do you remember who that was?
It's a female.
Dr. Edela. Dr. Edela.
Yes.
And so
Yes,
we really liked her, and she was incredibly empathetic, and she confirmed the diagnosis then. We'll end by just saying this. We'll talk a lot more about what we've learned about Alzheimer's, and some of you know more than we do. But there's a couple of different scales in which you can kind of gauge progression. There's kind of a 3-stage, kind of early, mid, late, but there's a more detailed 7-stage scale. And when Holly was diagnosed, she was considered mid to late stage 3. And so we'll talk a little bit more about what we were told about what that meant, and what suggestions we were given and what information we were given in terms of what we could expect and what we needed to be doing to prepare based upon that in our next video. But that's kind of what we were experiencing and how we ultimately got to a diagnosis. So, hey, we hope that this helped you guys. We know it's a little bit long, but we wanted to kind of go through a little bit of that backstory.
And God is still good.
And God is still good.
And on the throne.
So we'll share a little bit more about kind of how things are going since then and in today and future videos, but we hope that this helped you guys. Thank y'all. Love y'all.